Welcome into today's broadcast right here at Cog Hill Farm. Now, Peaches wouldn't let Nugget into the house for this episode, so here's Jason, Brooke, and our chicken master, Marycarl.
All right, what is up, guys? This is another episode of the Cogcast podcast. I hope y'all having a wonderful, wonderful day. We're having a great day here on the farm. This is Jason, Marycarl, and Brooke.
Hello.
And this is episode number 22. 22.
That's a lot of podcasts.
It is a lot of podcasts.
That Marycarl and I have been a part of, 22?
22.
It doesn't seem like, but like 5.
It's been 22 podcasts.
I know what you wanted to say.
What? 22?
22.
Oh, me. Tonight will be our Q&A and recap of some other videos.
And we have a very, very, very special event going on tonight.
We do
as
have
well.
a special event. We are going to try some Vegemite spread. We had an awesome fan, thank you so much, from Australia, sent us a box slap full of Australian goodies. And I'm talking about slap full. And
You took a picture of it and put it on your Instagram stories.
I did.
And I got several messages that said, "Why no Tim Tams?" Well, that's because we had already gotten into them and they were sitting on the kitchen counter open, so they didn't make the picture.
It's all Australian candy and goodies, cookies and candies and
Vegemites, if that's how you say it. Vegemite.
Yeah, but this is something totally different here.
This is not
The
cookies.
other stuff, the other stuff is chocolates and candies, and let me tell y'all, it is totally different from what we have here in the United States.
Well, I will tell you, I opened the box today, and there was a little thing that looked like a stick, and it was opened already.
Yeah,
and so I took a bite out of it. I didn't know who had bit off of it, but
I've been nibbling through
I
it.
liked it. It took a lot for me not to go back to it. I can't
really?
remember what it was called, but it was good. Do you
There-
have that, Marycarl?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Okay,
There
good.
there has been some things that wasn't awful, but it wasn't my cup of tea. God, what was the things that they said? You don't know what the color is inside the little egg.
I was interested to try that.
You know what it reminds me of? Do you know the Valentine candy that's the heart candy?
Yeah, conversation pieces.
It's like that covered in chocolate.
Marycarl, did you have that?
No.
Okay, well, Marycarl and I have got to get in this box. It looks like you've already beat us to
I'm
most
telling
of
you,
it.
I've been trying it all. There was one like a coconut roll.
That's
with
the one I had.
peanuts.
No, well, it
and then-
tasted like coconut, that stick.
It was a stick, and then there was one called chocolate flake, and it was a stick, and it was pure milk chocolate, but it just flaky crumbled everywhere.
Did you eat all of that one?
No, I didn't eat all of anything. I was just testing.
Marycarl, we better get down there and test before he finishes it off.
But there is a box of cookies called Tim Tams.
Oh, they're good.
They are good.
They are if they sold those in the United States, they would take over. They are delicious, absolutely delicious.
Well, I'm going to tell you, after you posted that picture on the stories,
Yes.
and I guess you must have said that you were going to try the Vegemite.
We're going to try the Vegemite.
Can I tell you how many messages or responses we got that said,
What's
you need toast with lots of butter? So I have toast here that already has been buttered. Marycarl will eat hers without edges only. We're all going to give it a try, and we'll give you our honest opinion.
And this was our Australian fans giving us great details. Don't put a lot on there.
Yeah, spread it
little
very thin.
It is it's like a vegetable, and I'm sure we're butchering this. We're not getting it
No,
right, but it's
what-
like a vegetable spread.
What Marycarl read, it's like wheat and barley.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not vegetables. That's like seeds.
Okay. Well, then I'm
I
wrong.
was looking at the ingredients.
Okay.
But I mean, you may be right. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying that it looked like the bulk of
You
it
might
was
be right,
a
y'all.
seed base, even though it's called Vegemite.
You know what? It's like barley yeast.
Yes,
That's what it's
yes.
like.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it says like yeast
Yeah.
extract
Yeah.
from barley and
Yeah,
wheat,
that's what
I
it
think.
is.
Because Marycarl wanted to read the ingredients before she tried it. I guess she didn't want it to be like cricket intestines or
That's right.
anything like that.
The thing about Vegemite, allegedly, it is an acquired taste, and typically only Australians like Vegemite. Anybody outside Australia can't stand it.
We're about to find out.
So we're about to find out. We're going to try some Vegemite.
Well, I didn't
I
know we were
also
going.
noticed one thing in it was niacin and thiamine And that's something that ducklings have to have for their legs to form.
That's what she told me. As soon as she read that, she said, "Mama, this would be great for my ducks." So here's what we're gonna do. Y'all told us to spread this stuff really thin.
Very thin
Oh,
and little.
look at that.
Oh.
I'm glad it didn't go all over you. Okay, so I'm putting a little bit on the knife. Marycarl, you're just first.
I don't think I'm going to be the one to try it first.
I'll
though.
try it first.
Well, that's not your piece of toast,
Okay.
though.
I will try it first.
Y'all continue on while I spread
We
the
do have us some water. We all have us a glass of water.
spread it very thin.
And I also got a cup of coffee.
Well, you might have to share with all of us.
That's right. And I forgot to post today that the podcast was a day late. I'm going to be in big trouble.
Why don't you tell them why it's a day late?
The podcast is a day late. If y'all don't know, I think most everybody does, but yesterday was my birthday. And
We just celebrated way too
we
hard.
did celebrate. And y'all know we're from Alabama. And I think most of y'all know I'm an Alabama fan. And my beloved Crimson Tide was in the Sweet 16 basketball game last night. And it wasn't over till after 9. And we didn't make it.
And Mrs. Coghill said it is too late.
It's too late to record a podcast.
Even though we homeschool, it's too late for my baby to be up doing a podcast.
And that's why I'm drinking coffee now, because I'm tired now.
Tired now.
We stayed up.
I stayed up late and watched the ball game.
That's right.
Whoa, we got a knife on here, babe.
Have your piece, please.
Okay,
Okay.
I will have my piece in.
Should we all do it at the same time?
We can do 1, 2, 3.
I'm going to be little.
You gonna be last?
No,
Okay.
you go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, so this piece doesn't have
Doesn't
much.
smell awful bad.
It kind of smells like just toast.
Let's go.
I don't like it.
It tastes like chicken feed.
I don't like it.
I don't like it at all.
I don't like it
try
at
one more.
all.
I'll try one more.
I ain't trying one more. You could have mine if you'd like. Okay.
All right.
Y'all got to tell us what it is about it that you do like.
Woo.
It's sour.
It's not sour. It's nasty.
You know what it tastes like? It smells like
It smells like chicken feed.
chick electrolytes.
It smells like chicken
does
feed.
smell
And
like
I'm
chicken
not
feed.
trying to make anybody mad that love this stuff. I'm just telling you, to me, it smells just like it tastes.
I was prepared to like it.
Yeah, I
thought it wasn't.
I thought it wasn't gonna be that bad.
Now, look, you can't sit here and eat buttered toast.
I mean, was it god awful where you gag?
No.
It
Now,
wasn't
I
that bad,
had
but
one
it
something one
It wasn't
time, and-
great either.
You know what I'm talking about.
Right.
When I had that one thing, you had it too, and it was terrible. Worst thing I ever put in my mouth. It wasn't like that. It just.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's not good.
Well, I'm proud to say I've tried it.
Me too, and I'm so happy they sent it to. And what's funny is they knew we weren't gonna like it.
Well, and they thought that somebody had already sent it to us in the past,
Oh yeah,
but nobody's ever sent it to us.
no one's
This
ever
was-
sent it to us.
This was the first time, and I'm proud to say that I tried it.
Me too.
It was interesting.
It was
was.
interesting.
We had an Australian staple because we love Australian things such as emus.
Oh
I bet
yeah.
Nugget would love some Vegemite.
You reckon Nugget like some
He'd be
Vegemite?
like,
I give him a little on the end of my
Let's see what
finger
he
and see
does.
what he does.
That'd be good in the video.
It would.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. Well, thank y'all very much for sending
Yes.
the Vegemite. However, the cogs don't care for it.
We don't, but we are loving the other stuff.
We are.
And I also would like to thank y'all. It blows us away every day we go to the post office.
Oh, yes.
The post office now knows these two right when they walk in the door. Y'all are sending so many letters and packages and gifts and license plates and signs and shirt. I can't. It's so much that I can no longer post pictures of it.
Well, one day this past week, we went to the box first, and most of the time there's a couple of things that are too large to fit in the box, and that therefore they leave us a key. So we go to another box and open that box up and get whatever the large package is, and then there will sometimes be a card which indicates it's held behind the counter.
Right.
So we had so many items from our P.O. box and then from the key box and from behind the counter that we had to use the post office cart,
The buggy.
the buggy, to get the things to the car.
It's just
And we also
amazing.
got 2 of those little those chick signs that light up.
Yes,
You
and
love
so
them.
Yes,
happy.
they're so awesome. I'll have to hang one on the greenhouse too
That's what I'm
with
thinking.
those solar lights.
Yes. The
They're
fan sent us
awesome.
some solar lights for the greenhouse, and it looks so cool. It looks like Christmas time or a juke joint. This solar house is just a flash. And,
I get
the
tickled every
greenhouse.
time I come
I
by.
bet your tomatoes are going.
I
The
bet they're
tomatoes are dancing,
Yeah.
Cog Hill style.
So the lighted chicken sign would go great with that.
It will.
Well,
and
we-
one of them's in my room. It's like some of the donut shops have the little sign that says like a hot light.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The donuts are hot. I say it's my chick hot light.
Chicks are always hot in there, aren't they?
Mhm.
I don't
They're
think I'll ever
just-
shut off.
They're just right. So,
Yeah,
we appreciate everything
Oh,
that is
thank
sent to
y'all
us.
so much.
We try
Thank
to
y'all.
send thank you notes for all of it.
We
However,
do.
there are times when addresses get misplaced, and
Or we have a lot of times where somebody sends us something through
That-
Amazon or through a company, and it doesn't have a return address on it.
That's
I mean,
right.
we've been known to send a company a thank you card. thinking
and
it
they're
was the
like-
Send it
person.
back.
well, we thank you very much, but this didn't come from us. No, we're not going to sit and eat toast.
Good.
Only if you can consume it with the Vegemite on it.
Yeah.
You're not going to go for that.
No.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for all the gifts.
Yes,
all
and
of
we
them. We're
appreciate
so
every-
appreciative of them.
Every one of them.
So appreciative of them. One more thing I like to show everybody that we got in the mail, and this is because of y'all.
Oh, the awesome.
We have got our silver play button from YouTube for hitting 100,000 subscribers on our main channel.
Isn't that awesome?
It is so awesome. I thank you guys so much for this. We're so proud of this.
Without fans and without support, this wouldn't be possible. And Jason was just telling me today that it's been 5 years since he started the YouTube channel.
Yeah, in
so-
July, I can't remember the exact date in July is when I started my YouTube channel 5 years ago.
And you could have quit many a time because in the
Yes.
beginning, Marycarl and I were not involved. We were doing other things
Mm-hmm.
just simply because we had other things going on in our life, and it took all of us working 3 different directions
That's right.
to make it work. And it wasn't that we didn't support your ideas and your things that you were doing. It was just that we were so busy that we went all different directions. And I think we've finally gotten on the same page to where we can all, get together and make things come
Right.
alive.
Yeah, I think it's working out well now.
So, what were our videos this past?
This past was it was oh gosh, y'all, it was the hay,
The hay,
Yes.
cutting the hay up, and then of course the farm,
the farm,
Yeah,
the new farm.
the new farm.
The new farm. And speaking of the new farm, I kind of put you on the spot there because I didn't ask you what the videos were ahead of time. We can never remember what the videos were, but
It sounds
Well,
crazy, but
It's because that
we've already filmed for the next
it's
week.
kind of a week behind, so
You kind of don't want to talk about what's upcoming.
it's coming up. Yeah, so yeah, that's why I always get confused, or we get confused on the videos. Which ones we need to talk about.
Marycarl, what is your opinion on the new farm?
I like it.
You like it?
Yes.
Okay.
More than like it.
That's what I was waiting on. What do you do?
I love it.
You love it. Why do you love it?
It's neat.
Well, it gives you
neat.
so much more opportunity to spread out and have possibly even specific breeding chicken pens rather than just a big conglomeration of chickens.
A big flower garden. I tell you, me and you went exploring this past week, and we found a Chickasaw plum tree that was huge. A Chickasaw plum is a native plum to Alabama. It's a wild plum. They're absolutely delicious. I love them.
Jason has always loved plums.
I've tried to grow this plum here, and I failed.
Where did you plant it when you tried to grow it? I can't
planted
even remember.
right there where the old processing area was.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Oh.
planted it there.
Okay.
It was kind of in front of it, where we had a willow tree one time.
It's kind of wet
course,
right there. So,
Yeah, it is.
you know, even when it rains now, even though we've got a lot of gravel
Yeah.
there, it tends to kind of make a mess there.
It does.
So maybe that was what the problem was. But we have a picture of Marycarl standing in front of that plum.
Yes.
It makes
Huge.
Marycarl look like a miniature.
Yes.
She's standing there like this, and it's just towering over her.
I'll
So-
try to
I'm
put
like
that in the
this
video.
tall, and the tree's like this.
but it's covered in blooms right now.
Just 'cause we thought it was a dogwood, me and Mary Carl did.
From a ways away, but then when we
Yeah.
got closer, the blooms are so little. They're like this big, and it's nothing but little white blooms.
Yeah, it was loaded down. And plus the dogwoods usually don't have that many blooms on it. They got a lot of blooms, but not like this.
Did y'all see many dogwoods?
Yes, there's a
Oh
lot of
yes, they're
dogwoods.
everywhere.
Well, see, I was doing other things, and they went around and kind of picked up some
Explored,
trash
yeah.
and tried to clean up a little bit. And when they came back, I found out about 3 different fruit trees that we have.
all
A black
s-
cherry.
which is an American cherry tree, which is also native to our area, and it grows really, really tiny cherries that I did some research on that a lot of your old timers and homesteaders would make wine or jelly out of. Sometimes they're called wine cherries too.
How tiny are they?
They're pretty small, but it says that you can eat them, but the pit's kind of bitter and hard, and you want to get it out. And there's some that says that if you were to eat enough of the pits, you get cyanide poisoning, but that would be so
Why
rare.
would you eat the
I
pit
don't know why you would
anyway?
eat the pit.
I remember when I was little, I grew up in the city, and our neighbors had a cherry tree, and it produced. They were really dark red cherries.
It may be the same one because these are also
but
known
they
as a
weren't
black
tiny.
cherry.
They weren't tiny. I mean, they were cherry size.
Right.
But I remember to this day, you know, always being told don't pick their cherries because it's not on our property. But just visualizing all over again how full that tree was
Yes.
of cherries.
And then we have a common pear tree.
A bunch of common pear trees.
And we did leave a lot of those.
We left a lot of those.
I was going to let y'all go back and figure out, you know, how
Yeah.
many you wanted to keep. And
They're all voluntary. They wasn't planted, unless one was planted. The Chickasaw plum's native, so it grows a lot of places. So
well, I'm just amazed that there were fruit trees there because, you know, with all the overgrowth and everything, you couldn't make heads or tails of what was there.
yeah,
We knew we liked it, but we had to see through that overgrowth of 4
Right.
years with no one living there to the potential of what could become.
yes. I know Mary Carl likes it because she gets to drive her toot everywhere.
She does. And Sunday afternoon, she ended up going over to her friend's house. And
Yeah.
so Jason and I were left to clean up and cut and do some things ourselves. So she has not seen it
Since we've cleaned up some.
since we've cleaned it up really thorough.
Oh, and we've had a ton of questions about the new property. A lot of ones that are being repetitive. So we know people are very, very curious about what's going on.
Yes, and we are very encouraged to answer these questions, so
Yes.
keep them coming. We do know the answers to most of them. However, there are some that, you know, will come with time. The more that we do work there, the more we'll, you know, it just
Right.
we know what we want to do. We do know that. But as far as exactly
Where
when
stuff's
it'll
gonna
happen
go,
and,
yeah.
and all that, we don't know.
We don't know.
It's a work in progress.
It is. I'm going to tell you one question. I don't know if it's on there or not. That I saw a bunch of is everybody seems to think that, you know, what are we going to do with your mom?
Oh, well, she's not being kicked out.
No, she's going with us.
She's going with
Yes.
us. That was a question I saw repetitively.
Yes.
And Marycarl would like to leave if that's okay.
Okay.
She's nudging me on the leg. She had her taste of her Vegemite and she's running away. So what do I unplug?
So yes, your mom will be going. We're not going to leave her here.
And I do have this question, and it kind of tells me it may be from the UK because it's spelled M-U-M.
Oh, it is. They are from the UK.
So there were several questions.
Yes.
Will your mom, I guess that's how they
That's
say
how they
it,
say it. Mm-hmm.
move with you. So excited for you all. Yes, she will go. She's undecided as to if she wants to build a house, if we will get her a small
Trailer.
mobile home to
or
live in.
Or a tiny house or,
Or a
whatever.
tiny house,
we don't know
but
yet.
we're not that far along.
No.
But yes, she will go with us. That was all in the plan. She was all for whatever we wanted to do,
Mm-hmm.
and we wouldn't have made a decision without her,
Right.
being approval. So.
Right. Being
Are
a
you
part of
gonna
everything.
Are you gonna build a home on the new property?
Yes, we are going to build a new home.
That is in the plan. Wood, if you don't know, it's very expensive right now, as well as a lot of other building supplies.
Yes.
I think it's everything. I
It
think it's
is, but
nails,
wood is
sheetrock.
the main thing right now. For example, I guess most of y'all may know. If not, there's the one that's really driving people nuts for us too is OSB, which is cheap plywood. It's cheap plywood.
It's been glued together.
Glued together. That stuff typically is $8 to $10 a sheet, and it's pushing $50 a sheet now. So that shows you how crazy wood is right now. And the other ones are 2x4s. 2x4s always been $450 for a good 2x4.
Well, you're talking treated, but
Or untreated is what, $350?
about $3.
Now they're $9.
Yeah, I mean, I can't afford to build a house right now.
No.
So we have a house. We have a roof over our head.
Mm-hmm.
Our farm has, housing.
Yes.
We would like to get all of our animal pens built first.
Yeah, we would.
Know where we're going to put things. This is not going to happen overnight.
No, this is going to be an ongoing project.
It's going to be an ongoing project, and also wood's got to go down.
Wood's got to go down.
And nobody knows when that's going to happen.
No.
I mean,
They're predicting within a year that it should start dropping back to normal.
I don't think anybody has a definite answer, but if it never drops, it never drops, and if it does, then we're going to be there waiting on it.
That's right.
But
And another thing is we're thinking about, there's really, I guess, kind of two things we're leaning towards. We're leaning towards maybe a container house made out of shipping containers, and we're leaning towards barn dominium or a pole barn house.
and I'm going to tell you, but before this all came about, I've never heard of a barn dominium.
We have not.
I Googled it to find out that it was a pretty cool idea and very energy efficient, which we're all for. Doesn't cost as much to build as your stick frame house.
That's right.
And the design is right up our alley.
Yes.
So that's kind of why we were leaning towards that, especially with the cost of wood the way it is right now. A barn dominium is a steel sided house.
Yeah, it's like a pole barn, basically.
It basically,
Yeah.
a lot of it looks
Yep.
like a barn.
Yep.
Of course, there are lots of different designs to pick. Designs,
You've been around me too long.
yeah, to pick from. But we just want simple. We
Yeah,
want
we want
something
simple.
simple, and we want energy efficient, and we want just open concept happiness.
Open concept, smaller in size,
Nothing
a little
elaborate.
more being minimalist. Did I
Yeah.
say that right? I think I
I
nailed
don't
it.
know. I don't know.
So that's what we're looking at. Or, like I said, the container houses, which we were leaning hard on container house. But then when we found the barndominiums, we are now leaning towards possibly doing the barndominiums. Or I think that sometimes they call it a post frame house. There's another name for them.
And another thing is we are not professional builders by all means, but we feel like we can finish up a lot of this work ourselves. Interior.
Yeah.
We will have somebody
yeah.
come in. We'll have them frame it. We'll have somebody pour the concrete pad. We'll have somebody do the plumbing. But pretty much everything else we can do ourselves.
Yeah, we can do ourselves. I'm going to reset the camera real quick.
And that's something that we enjoy doing.
Yeah.
We can take our time.
That's
We
right.
can, do it exactly the way we want it. Take as long as we need, speed it up, whatever.
Yes. And, we got some ideas too as to maybe we could start on an Airstream and possibly get it up and going.
We got to get the Airstream up and going because if we're going to leave this farm,
Yeah.
it's not staying.
No. And then we could stay in it some while we built the house too. But that's still on ways down the
Yeah,
road.
we're not completely 100% sure what will happen in what order, but we do know eventually we would like to build and we would like to move over there. And that leads to the question is, will you sell this farm? Well, we will eventually.
We will eventually.
Don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Don't want to, of course, advertise anything for sale until we know for sure what we're going to do.
Right.
We don't even know where we would put a house right now.
Yeah, we don't. We've
You know,
we've
we just started
imagined
cleaning
places, but yeah.
cleaning the land up. Initially, we thought that we would build where the power was.
Yep.
Which is where the gentleman that had the place before had a mobile home, and he also had a camper. And we thought that that would be the perfect home site because it has a septic tank already there, has water there, it has power there. But it might not be the perfect place for us to put a house.
That's right.
And therefore, we want to weigh all our options and clean up the land. And, you know, if we have to run new power, we have to run new power. This is going to be our permanent last stop.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
That's the plan anyway.
That's the plan, anyways.
You never know.
You never know.
Never say never, right?
That's right. That's right. But yeah, that is our plan. And this made me think of a question that has been asked that that's not on here, and that was, were we going to build a tornado shelter?
That's first on our list.
Yes.
These past 10 days
It's
in
been
Alabama
nuts.
has been nuts. I have answered so many questions and concerns about, are we okay? We are okay.
We are
but we're
okay.
okay by this much.
Yeah, it was really, 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 really close.
You have to be on your toes when you live in Alabama. Your bicycle helmet's in your lap.
Yeah.
And you're watching the weather. And you better be ready to get to your safe place.
That's right.
And that's just Alabama.
That's just Alabama. So we will have a
tornado
we got a
shelter.
semi-basement here, but we will have a official tornado shelter at the new place.
Yes.
Whether it be under the ground or the new ones that are the solid steel ones that are above the ground. Either way, we will have us a tornado shelter.
Speaking of that, Katie told me today that a friend of ours has one that's down in the ground, and it's like one of those kind that they sell at Fuller building. It was
Okay.
actually Boyd.
Yeah.
He was down in the tornado shelter, and of course they didn't have any signal to find out what the weather was doing.
Oh gosh.
And so he was constantly asking them, "Can we come out yet?" Because they were sweating and hot
bet
down in
so.
the. I'm sure the things get hot.
I bet it does.
So we will need to have some kind of system to get a signal
Yeah.
to figure out what the
We'll
weather's
figure it
doing in
out.
that outside world, because they didn't know if it was okay for them to come out or what.
Yeah,
And they were hot.
It's tough, especially if everything's internet based, and if you had, luckily but not luckily, we don't have great internet here, but the internet we do have is 4G, and so there's no wires that we were just pulling through the air, so we had internet. while
everybody else is like,
super high speed fiber optics, and they didn't have anything.
well, the girl that we went through the process of purchasing the land with, we met her the next day to finalize the property, and she told us that they had not had any power all night.
Yes.
And that they and their kids slept in the bathtub because they had no way to know if the weather had passed.
Yep, they didn't
And
know.
they said that their kids were going to be zombies at school that day because they had been in the bathtub all night with not knowing if the weather was still over us
Right.
or if there was more to come. And that's what happens when you have wired internet.
That's right.
We're wireless here.
We're wireless here.
Don't mean we fast though.
It's not fast at all.
It is a slow boat to China.
Our cell service is not very good here.
No.
And our internet's not very good here.
If somebody calls me, I have to literally turn it to airplane mode on my phone.
Yep.
Turn it back off airplane mode and go get in my position where I know I have one bar.
We have a booster and it works, but you have to be in a certain area, like in the closet, in the by the hot water heater, for it to get 3 bars.
You're like,
and
hang
you're
on,
good.
I'll call you right back. Let me put it on airplane mode and I'll be right back with you.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
It works though.
It does work.
But out in our
It's frustrating,
out,
though.
out at our new place, we got a big tower nearby that's
Yeah,
gonna
we
get us
do have
really
a big
good
tower
service.
nearby, and
Unless
but we're
a
going
tornado
to
takes it down.
Yeah, but we're going to switch carriers.
That's right.
Yep.
All right. So another question.
It-
I want
go
to
ahead.
answer this
Go
one.
ahead.
Well, does Marycarl want to be? What does Marycarl want to be when she grows up?
What does she want to be when she grows up?
She has told us forever that she wants to be an avian veterinarian, and that is ever since she figured out that there was such a thing,
Yeah.
an avian veterinarian. And I don't care what she does. As long as she's happy and she follows her heart,
That's
then
right.
of course we would be happy. This person wants to know, will she be a chicken farmer? Can she breed her own chickens? Chicken raiser? I guarantee you she's going to have chickens.
Yeah, she'll have chickens, but I'm like you. Whatever she wants to do, I've been preaching to her lately that do what makes you happy. Don't worry about money. Don't follow money. Do what makes you happy.
That's right.
Because
Don't
the
marry
money-
into money. I mean,
The money will follow.
that's right. If you're happy, then that makes a whole lot more sense than
Yes.
doing something that you don't want to do.
That's right.
So that's my staple to her is whatever makes you happy.
But I do think that she will be definitely something in that area. I really do.
Well, when you're 11 years old and you're on your way to the feed store and you know that they've got chicks and your heart's going pitter patter, and you tell your mama, my heart's beating so fast, mama, my heart's beating. Look, there's not many things this day and time that make my heart go pitter patter except for big orange tractors. And I just have to explain it to her that way. Marycarl, chicks don't make my heart go pitter patter, but big orange O's do. So she kind of could relate to me, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
when
I
you're
know.
11 years old and your heart goes pitter patter over chicks,
And that's all she thinks about.
you're obsessed.
That's all she thinks
And
about.
it's not, I'm not meaning obsessed, meaning a bad thing.
No.
It's just that's her passion.
That's all she does. Reads. I can't tell you how
mean,
much she reads about
I
chickens.
was taking dishes out of the dishwasher earlier, and she had asked me if she could go in her room, and I said certainly. And I peeked in at her, and I could see her on her iPad, and she was on McMurray's website. I don't know what she was reading about, but she had something in her mind that she wanted to look at.
Oh, that's funny.
And it's just,
That's her, though.
I mean,
24/7.
that's all she thinks about.
Yeah, 24/7.
And that's not your
Ducks and
normal
chickens.
child.
Ducks and chickens, 24/7.
But I'm glad she's not your normal.
That's right.
Okay, you want to pick one?
Is the property fenced already? Yes, the property is fenced, and that was a big, huge plus and check mark, for pros when we were looking at the property.
It was a big check
It
mark.
really was, because we had looked at another one
That was not fenced
that was
at
not
all.
fenced in, and that was a huge because
It's a good fence.
yeah, this is a great fence. Now there is some on the back side and the sides that need mending, but all in all, we're in great shape when it comes to fencing.
A lot of it is already there. It's already, I mean, we won't have to do a thing.
We want to do much at all. We
And
won't.
I would say that when I looked at other properties, I kept going back to we're not fenced here at all.
We're not fenced here.
We've had fencing where we've had pigs in the past. We've had areas of fencing, but we have a couple of strands of barbed wire on both sides of it that we haven't put up. It's been there for years, but as far as containing our animals in a fence, no, we don't have it.
Now I will say we'll probably have to walk the property line all the way around.
I'm sure, but
Which we haven't done yet. It's a lot of overgrowth, and once we get all that cleaned up, and there's going to be some where trees fell or limbs fell.
yeah,
that
but
we'll
that's
have to mend.
repairing.
Yeah,
That's not building a new fence.
right. But for the most part, this place has got a great fence,
It's awesome.
which, like I said, was a big plus when we were looking to buy.
Yes. Are we planning to eventually sell our place? We talked about that.
Yep.
Moving everything, including Grandma, to the larger farm. Will you end up keeping both properties? No.
No,
There's
we
no
won't.
way possible we could keep both
No.
both properties.
That's right.
And several people suggested that we take some barn cats over to the property and leave them. We can't do that because we can't go to the property every day.
Yeah, we can't go
So
there
we would
every
have
day.
no way to feed and water them and make sure that they were being cared for. So that was out of the question.
Right. It's not a long ways away, but it's not something you'd want to drive every day.
No, and especially not
forth
when
to
Jason
check.
works a full-time
Right.
job and he doesn't get home until 5:30.
Right.
And then it gets dark at 7:00.
Yeah.
So by the time we got there, it'd be 6:00, and then that doesn't give us 45 minutes to do
Right.
anything.
Yep,
So
yep.
it's kind of a weekend thing right now.
It's kind of a weekend thing right now, but we're sure enjoying the weekends now.
Yes,
It's been
and
fun.
there have been several instances where we needed to take something or drop something off, and Marycarl and I have done that. but it's not like I would go over there and just work by myself. I don't want Marycarl to have to be standing there while I'm working. You know, we've done it as a family.
Yeah, we have done it as a family, and Marycarl's been great.
Oh, she has.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, she told me one Monday morning I was talking about something that I'd left or needed to get, and she was like, "Mama, I don't mind riding over there if you need to do that. I don't mind going. We can do school, and then we can go over there." And I thought that was very kind of her.
It was very kind of her.
That told me that she wanted to be there.
She gets so giddy. She starts skipping. That's what you was trying to get her to say, I think.
Yeah. She
that's her telltale sign when she's happy.
Well,
Saturday
she does morning, it. She was
she
skipping down the road.
She does it without thinking about it. It's
I
just
think so, too.
It's just a reaction
Just an
thing.
impulse.
Just an impulse. And you watch her, and she does it with chickens and chicks and with the new land.
She loves this place. She loves this place.
She does. And this weekend, while you were doing what you were doing, yeah, I was entertaining Marycarl, and she loves hiking and exploring. She loves it.
Oh, she could.
Loves it.
As a matter of fact, y'all didn't get all the video and done that you wanted to because y'all were exploring the same area.
Same area.
Because you found a spring that you didn't know was there.
That's right. We did. We found a spring coming out of the ground, and it was solid rock, and it looks like a hole, and this water's coming out of this hole, and it's feeding this stream. And we both were pretty excited about it. But
I didn't see it, but when she saw me, she said, maybe we could put a GoPro on a stick and take it down in that hole.
Drop it down in the hole.
And see it, because she's thinking it might be a cave.
Who knows what she's thinking?
Because it's a solid rock.
It's a solid rock.
And it has a hole in it that water's coming out of.
This big.
And it's crystal clear and cold.
It's crystal clear and cold. Yep. So, it's an underground spring for sure. Yeah, she's giddy about that.
She is giddy. And of course, we have a creek here, but she's just infatuated with the creek at this place.
She loves the creek. She kept telling me, "Let's go to the spring, Daddy. Let's go to the spring." That's what she calls it.
So we're hoping one day we can dig a pond.
Yep.
And there just so happens to be a gentleman that lives in the area that builds ponds right down the road. And I haven't talked to him about it yet, but I do have some inside information as to he does build ponds.
Which would be great. And we're not going to build a big pond.
No. Matter of fact, we saw one the other day, and Marycarl said to me, "Mama, we don't need a pond near that big." So I thought, yeehaw, I'm so glad that you feel the same way I do. We just need a swimming hole for the ducks
That's
and
all
geese.
we need, yeah. Yeah, just to get a little swimming hole.
But she's so excited.
She is.
I was thinking, she doesn't show very much emotion. You know, when I asked her if she was excited about the new place when she was sitting here, she was like, "I like it."
Yeah.
But you can tell. When she gets there, she is skipping. She cannot go to sleep the night before we're going over there. Telltale sign that a kid's excited.
The really sign was the other day when your bush hog didn't match up.
Oh, and she cried.
And you were pouting because you didn't want to go, because the whole reason of us going was so you could bush hog. And she didn't think we were going to go and go camping over there.
Yeah, she was like, "Mama, come on. There's other things you can do. There's other things." You know, she came up with all kind of things that we could get done, and we could walk around, we could explore, and come on, get in the car and cheer up, Mama. And it was just...
She was so happy.
It was almost like she was the adult in the situation, and
Ain't
I was
that
the
the truth?
kid. I was pouting, and she's telling me to come on, turn the corner.
Oh, me.
Jason?
Yes.
Would you plant fruit trees at your new place?
Me and Marycarl talked about this, and this was before we found the plum tree, which we're super happy about, and the pears. Yes, those are my two favorite fruits, actually, plums and pears. I love them both. But yeah, me and Marycarl talked about it. Figs.
Well, you know what I'm thinking?
Some native apples, or apples that do well in Alabama, which are rare.
I'm thinking we love Petals from the Past in Jemison.
Yes, we do.
And they grow their blackberries on like a trellis system.
Yes.
And we have always wanted to do that, but we really don't have the space here.
I did it on a small scale, but nothing like they have.
Well, plus that, the chickens peck them off. And
yeah, they do.
We do plan to have the chickens in a certain area,
yep.
and that way we can have plenty of area away from them that we can plant fruit that we don't want them to get into. But I am loving the idea of a trellis system for blackberries.
We have talked, me and Marycarl talked about the blackberries, blueberries, maybe, rows of some blueberries.
Yes. And they even have those little... kiwis over there.
Yep, the kiwi vines that do well in our area.
Yeah, and people think kiwis don't grow in Alabama, but at Petals from the Past, they have the correct variety for your zone.
They got several over there.
They do, and I remember eating one. Do you remember?
They're so good. They're so good. And the other thing that me and Marycarl like too, we like muscadines.
Yeah. Yeah, I like muscadines too.
And so we could have
And our
us some muscadine
friend
roe.
Stan and Kathy.
Oh yeah,
They used to have a you pick muscadine
Muscadine.
down in Brooke, Alabama, and they have since relocated near their daughter. But I bet you Stan can put us on some muscadine.
and show us what to do.
I bet he can. I bet he'll even come over there and help you
I
plant
know
them.
he will.
I bet he will. What was I gonna say? Oh, it was something about fruit.
Don't remember.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
Guess what?
what?
We gotta hook Peaches up.
With what? Some peaches?
She's gotta have a persimmon tree.
Oh, we will get her a persimmon tree.
So we're gonna
Yes.
get Marycarl on the Google. I have a feeling that there's a persimmon tree somewhere.
It probably is because, like I said, we found some other ones. If not, we'll just buy. Pedals has got persimmon trees.
They do. But
Yes.
I wanted Marycarl to take her little plant identification
Oh,
thing and see
find
if she
one?
can't find one.
I was hoping we had a mulberry tree over there.
She
That's what I
comes-
thought the cherry was.
If she comes home and she tells Peaches,
Oh.
we got a persimmon tree, she's gonna say, I'm going.
We already found some hickory nuts.
That's right.
She'll be happy about that.
All right. Did we find this place with a real estate agent or on our own?
We found it on our own, but we did go with the real estate agent to get it. I'm going to tell you what. There were several sites we used. Zillow's probably very popular and common.
Land
And
Watch.
Land Watch, and I'd set up these little updates.
Jason would be in the middle of doing something, ding,
Yeah.
and it would give him an indication that there was land available in the area that we were searching for with the amount of acreage we were searching for. And we went through a lot of those.
Yeah, we did go through a lot.
And we, you had to take all of them seriously. It's
Yep.
kind of like the 911 operator.
That's right.
The woman that told us that every year about this time of the year
Uh-huh.
that they would start getting calls about a woman screaming, and they knew that
Yeah.
it was a peacock farm,
Ah,
and they always had to go check it out and take it seriously. That's kind of like you taking the app seriously
right,
when
this
a
was like
land
me.
became available.
yep.
You had to look at it and check it out because you never knew if that might be the one.
You never knew. Yep.
So,
yeah, it was I went through a bunch.
Went through a bunch, and we kind of felt like at times that we were getting nowhere.
Yes.
Because as soon as we looked at something and went to show it to each other or look at it again, under contract.
Yeah, it was going fast, or either it was out of our price range.
Out
One of
of
the
our-
two.
We had a price in mind, and we were not going to budge on what we were looking for.
No, we're not. We
It
had our
wasn't
budget. and that was
worth
it.
getting yourself in debt
Right.
over finding the perfect place. So if it wasn't right, it wasn't right.
That's exactly right.
We felt like it wasn't meant to be, and we passed on several properties that we thought were absolutely beautiful, but it wasn't in our budget.
Right.
Therefore, it wasn't for us.
That's right.
So just keep looking. Don't give up.
Keep looking. And I think I did find this place on Zillow. I think.
Yeah,
If
well,
not,
I know
it
you
was-
told
It
me
was
about it.
Zillow, Realtor.com, and Landwatch were the three that I used the most because they would give me updates. But there's a bunch of websites out there.
But
Ton of them.
you told me about it
Yep.
because I knew that Marycarl had a doctor's appointment in that area,
And
and we knew that she was going for her 11-year-old checkup.
That's
and I
right.
told you I would drive by there and check it out
And I looked multiple times every day.
every day. And you would always tell me what you found, and we knew we didn't want anything that timber had been cut on it, and it would take a lot of work to rejuvenate the property and get
Yes.
it back to. That was our least expensive finds, were things that
We
you
could
know,
find that very regular where it had been clear cutted and it was just, it looked terrible. And you had those half stumps, and it'd just be thousands of those. And we knew we'd have to get somebody to come in there and remove the stumps.
Yeah, I
and
mean, it could be
just
done, but we were looking for something that was more immediately
Yep.
ready.
ready. And
Do
then,
you need to restart your camera?
no, we're good. We're good.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So we knew we would like to have a water source of some
Mm-hmm.
sort. We knew that we wanted pasture land. We weren't so picky about it being partially wooded,
Right.
but as long as we had enough open area. I'm gonna tell you one thing. That's enough open area.
It is way bigger than
It's way bigger than what we imagined.
it's perfect.
Well, I said I wouldn't ever get tired of driving a tractor. But after 2 days straight and still not being finished,
yeah,
I think it's just because it's so overgrown, though.
it is.
It's taken a lot of time
It is.
to get it manicured, and we won't have to cut it all at one time
No,
again.
we won't.
We can do it in sections.
Yep.
But now we want it to be pretty all at one time, so we're constantly, continuously cutting.
Yeah. And there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done. We found a lot of China berry trees that I was cutting down. So it's just, and just the wild blackberries are so thick in areas that you can't even walk. It's just, you can't do anything.
Well, you get stuck. Your pants get stuck and your shoestrings come untied.
And they're this deep. So it'll come up to here on you.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
It was that high. I was scared that something was going to happen and I was going to have to get off the tractor in the middle of that stuff because it's
bad.
You just couldn't make heads or. I can tell why a lot of people would have looked at that property and not saw the full potential.
Mm-hmm.
But then obviously there was a lot of people that saw the full potential because there was a lot of offers made on it. But when you do look for land, you just you kind of have to see through that scab on the outside sometimes because we had to see the potential. First of all, there was already power and water there,
which was a check.
Well, our house, when we built it, we had to supply power and water here and gas.
That's right. It's got a good road bed.
There was an access. There was an entrance there.
Yep.
There was a lot of checks here.
There
was also a power, what do you call that, box outlet for a camper.
Oh yeah, it was wired for a camper.
So all I had to do was call the power company and get them to switch the power on. We took our little camper over and literally plugged it in and had power.
Yep. It has 2 panel boxes, one's for the camper and one's for a house or home.
So we just felt like that was a perfect situation for us.
It really is. Like I said, already got a power pole set and it's just perfect.
I got to get started on that Airstream.
It's got a barn.
It's got a barn. It's
got a lean-to shed that does need work. All of it needs work. But
all of it needs work. But if you had to build it from scratch, it'd need work too.
Yeah, and it would cost you arm and leg.
So, to have this much ahead, we feel like, we can do the repairs, whereas building from scratch would take a lot longer.
Right. And the barn, to me, is just cosmetic.
Yes, it's not bad. The rafters look good. There's a few minor places where there's some rotten wood, but we simply will take that board out and replace it.
That's right.
11-year-old can do it. Right?
That's right. I bet you can.
But we've got all kind of exciting plans. We just feel like it's just fell in our lap. It was just perfect, meant for us.
It really was.
And we are not going to make any hasty decisions as to, like the price of lumber being up. Yeah, we'd like to build right now, but it's just not in our right interest to build and pay a lot more for something when it will potentially go down.
That's right.
So
just be patient.
Yeah, that's right.
We got plenty of stuff to do anyways.
We sure do. We found that out this weekend.
Sure did find out this weekend. Long ways to go. We're taking you guys with us.
That's right.
Every step of the way.
I hope y'all will understand that we will still feed animals. We still have to take care of our house.
Yes.
We still have to take care of our farm, and we just have to take care of another one too.
That's right. So we'll be at both places.
It'll be 2 times. Times Cog Hill.
That's right. That's right.
And will the farm still be called Cog Hill when we move?
Oh, yeah. That's the other question we got asked a lot.
I didn't think about that.
Sure did.
Is it going to be named Cog Hill when we move?
Absolutely. We're not changing the name.
Cog Hill Farm.
Cog Hill Farm. That's stuck.
Cog Squad for life.
Cog Squad for life. We are not changing the name.
We're not changing the name. It might not be on a hill, but
that's right.
We're going to still be the Cog Hill.
That's right.
It'll be the Cog Flats.
That's right.
How about that?
The Cog Flat.
The Cog Flat.
That's funny.
How about that?
Oh, me. Well, any more questions? You think that's it?
I tried to kind of keep them related to the property because we were.
Ooh, I know one was talking about us cutting the hay with a chainsaw.
Oh, yeah.
There were a lot of people that were concerned about the bar oil off the chain getting on the hay. I was watching it. If there was any, it was so minute. And you're talking about, I don't know how much hay that is, 1,000 pounds worth of hay. It's a lot of hay. So by the time it was all, that's not going to be an issue at all.
Well, I can tell you, if we thought it would be an issue, we would not be feeding it to our animals because, as you guys have watched and seen, we care for our animals dearly. We would never do anything to jeopardize their health. If we thought in any way that it would harm them, we would not do it.
We would not do it. So, yeah, I don't see how the bar oil would hurt the animals in any kind of way. As
It's not like it
it's-
shoots
yeah,
out
it's
onto
not
the chain or
pouring out.
anything. It's just keeping the chain lubricated, and
It's very, very small amount. And I didn't see any on any of the hay. No oil residue whatsoever at all. So
I tell you what,
I do what
that hay is so easy to get to
it is.
that Marycarl gets it.
It's
She
so
takes
easy.
her gorilla cart and she backs it up to the hay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Where are you going with that hay?" "Oh, Belle needs some," or Cindy needs some, or it's always some reason. But she's gotten to where she can get the hay
That's
herself.
So awesome.
It is awesome.
I gotta tell y'all something. I posted a picture of Marycarl and her gorilla cart with her little ducklings in it, and didn't say anything to gorilla cart whatsoever. Somehow they saw it. I didn't tag them in it or whatever. I got a message from gorilla cart. It said, "Oh my gosh, guys."
Somebody tagged us in your post.
And we think it's so awesome that they're sending us a couple of gorilla carts over here.
Marycarl was thrilled.
She's so happy.
They used one over at Petals from the Past that has metal sides on it. And ours is, of course, plastic on all four.
And we love it.
And we love it.
Yeah,
and we've
we
used
love
it
it.
for years.
It's old
It is old.
and
But
still kicking.
when Jason told Marycarl that Gorilla Cart had contacted and he let her pick out what she
Yeah, I
wanted,
did.
she decided that she wanted that one that's like a wagon style and it's metal on all four sides. So I just can't imagine what we're going to haul in the new one.
She's going to be so happy.
She's probably going to be pushing me around. Me holding her chicks. How's that?
That's right.
I wonder if there's a pound limit on it.
I'm sure.
I hope that one doesn't dump.
Oh, gosh. Hope
Should
we
be
don't
dump
either.
me out. Y'all keep the questions coming.
Please
We'll
do.
continue to answer questions about the property. There is no such thing as a stupid question. We don't get to answer them all. We pick and choose what we think is
For the
most
podcast,
relevant
yeah.
for what's happening at the time.
Especially ones that are repetitive.
Yeah, I mean, all these were repetitive, and that's why I picked them. If
Yeah.
there's one that needs answering, we usually will plug the answer in.
And we try to answer every single question we get, but we do get
A lot of them.
a lot every day. And if we don't answer you, then it's not that we're ignoring you. It just got lost in the shuffle because
right.
it's hundreds. It's probably hundreds a day.
Yes, it is.
And we try our best.
So y'all keep them coming because that keeps us busy.
It does. And sometimes Marycarl may be answering your question. You don't know it.
That's right. She might.
She gets on there and answers a lot of questions for us.
Yeah, she's doing good.
Yeah.
She's our assistant now.
She does. And she probably gets just as many questions, if not more, than we get.
She enjoys answering emails. Matter of fact, yesterday I told her that this lady was wanting to start out with chicks and what breeds did Marycarl suggest. And so she typed up this very long email in response. And she said, "Mama, do you want to hear what I wrote?" And
Like
I
a
said,
professional.
"Well, it's but I'm sure whatever you wrote is good." And she read it to me out loud, and I was like,
Like a professional,
"Well,
I'm telling you.
I don't believe I'll be answering any more questions."
She's so good.
I think she can handle it.
She can.
Speaking of that, this is the Naked Hog, our friends over there at the Naked Hog. If you haven't followed them already, check them out. They do a YouTube channel. They have a YouTube channel. They do Facebook posts.
They do.
They do it all.
They do it all. And
They're good
gardening.
folks. Over-
Awesome gardeners. Oh my gosh. He has created this germination chamber. You have to check this thing out at old deep freeze. And he's getting nearly 100% germination on all his seeds in days.
And they come
Some
from
within
Hoss Tools,
hours.
don't they?
Yeah, they all come from Hoss.
So you can put a link below to Hoss Tools.
I'll
And
put a link below to Hoss and to Wes.
Wes
and
is over in
Angie.
Louisiana
Yep.
and just our neighbors to the south. They can usually tell us how bad our weather is that's coming
Yeah,
our way.
that's right. They let us know
So-
ahead of time.
The Naked Hog, the Weather Prediction Center. We love y'all.
Yes.
Y'all check them out.
Y'all be good.
Hey guys, if you missed that video where we just bought our new farm, check it out right over here. It's exciting times here. Hope y'all catch it. And as always, y'all be good.